Good evening, everyone. My name is Nikhil, and I'll be going over the final iteration presentation for our group, which is comprised of Favor and myself. So let's get started. So what is the problem statement that we're trying to solve? Well, Favor and I are both international students, and one thing we've learned over the past couple of years is that our names, for the lack of a better word, are non-Western. They are hard to pronounce. Whenever people refer to us, we can sense them getting a little uncomfortable because they feel like our names are a little hard to pronounce. On the other hand, with advancements being made in the Bay Area almost every week, if not every day, we figured, why not try to learn a new framework to try and fix this problem? Gen AI, as well as large language models, seem to be helping us in every walk of life, and so we figured, why not try to make use of the text-to-speech offerings that various services have out there to help us with this problem. So as a result, our tech stack, this is what our tech stack looks like. We are using Python as our primary coding language with a little bit of Java sprinkled here and there. We're using Flask API as well as 11 Labs as our core frameworks. Flask API is our primary API offering, which we're using to connect our front-end user interface with our back-end services. As far as 11 Labs is concerned, this is our go-to service for our text-to-speech functionality. Ideally, we decided on building an end-to-end app, and by that I mean a user should have a front end to interact with, as well as in the back end we should be able to store any and all user information. So as a result, we decided to go ahead with a relational database management system, specifically PostgreSQL, and we are using dbeaver as our database management system tool. For the front end, we are standing up a simple one-page user interface using HTML and designing it with some basic CSS elements. Here's a list of our user stories. Along with this presentation, we'll be submitting a design document which will have every detail of our user stories, as well as use case diagrams, sequence diagrams, interaction diagrams, and things of that nature, as well as acceptance tests. So I would suggest that if you want to know more about our user stories, you please refer to the design doc that was submitted along with this presentation. But for the purposes of this presentation, let's just briefly skim through the user stories that Favor and I worked on. The first user story is to be able to pronounce names via a CLI or a command line interface. We wanted to experiment with the 11 Labs framework, and this was the best way to do it. The second user story is to be able to pronounce names using a user interface. Like I mentioned before, this is a simple one-page HTML page with a simple one. Is just an HTML page with some basic CSS elements. We are persisting user information, like I mentioned, in the Postgres database, and we're allowing users to upload a CSV containing lots and lots of names. We would like to avoid the user entering hundreds and hundreds of names within the simple text box that we have. So we're supporting this functionality of allowing users to upload their names in a CSV. We are also building a Flask API endpoint that can be consumed by our front end, as well as other external services should they feel the need to interact with our application. And this is and for our last user story, what we're doing is we are displaying the cultural origins of our names. So for example, if I enter my name in our application, it will get pronounced. And along with the pronunciation, what gets displayed is a small box suggesting what are the origins of my name. I'm Indian, so it would say that my name is Indian, but it will also display the top 5 results, suggesting that my name could also be Pakistani, or it could be Bangladeshi, or it could be Afghan, or things of that nature. In this slide, I'll go through some inner details of user story 6, but like I mentioned in the previous slides, feel free to refer to our design documents. The name of the story is simple, display name origins. The initiating event would be user enters their name into the user interface and hits enter. The observable result would be the UI displays the identified origins. So like I had mentioned, if you were to use my name as an example, it would display the fact that I'm from India over there, or the name is an Indian name. It's got Indian origins. Functional tests, a valid input would be the name entered as a string. We wouldn't want the names to include any special characters or numbers. And valid CSV file if the user chooses to go through the CSV file upload functionality. Invalid names would be an empty input field and malformed CSV files. Okay, now I'm going to pause this video and there will be another video linked with